Why now? 11 years ago, that then secret plea deal was reached. Why is the U.S. government making another run at putting him behind bars?
Well, just to refer back to Assistant Director McSweeney's statement about some pretty strong investigative journalism, I suspect that this, quote, deal of a century was revived and in a big way after that article came out, and the FBI got involved in basically a redo of that investigation. That plea deal should never have happened. This is a zero-tolerance crime. Now it should have been a zero-tolerance crime back then. And I think a lot of people are scratching their heads as to why the Public Corruption Unit in New York and the Southern District of New York is handling the prosecution. If you look back in 2008, there were some allegations, and also in that article, that Epstein was providing some of these girls to some pretty high-profile people. We don't know who they are. And that would involve, by definition, public corruption if the charges were suppressed for that reason.
What about that? I mean, you're obviously referencing former President Bill Clinton, the current President Donald Trump, Prince Andrew, and others. The FBI clearly was no comment on what this means as far as the investigation opening the door to others who may have known that this was going on.
Well, clearly, the investigation is ongoing because they're looking for more victims. I think this two-count indictment is a placeholder. I think you're going to see dozens of counts in a superseding indictment in the near future. This is just to get him in custody so they can continue the investigation. Obviously, they're going to argue that he should be detained. That means he presents a danger. He shouldn't be released. So I think a decision was made that this conduct was ongoing, perhaps, and they needed to get him off the street.
Just a few more questions, Chris. He had this non-prosecution agreement in Florida, which they spell out as not recognized in New York. And to Sandra's question, you wonder what changed, and you report to this. You referred rather to that report out of the Miami Herald there. They will request that he stays in detention. If you're that rich and you've got two planes, do you make a case to the judge that way and win?
Absolutely. He's got all the best lawyers money can buy. That's what he had back in 2008. He has all the means to get out of the country. And as I said, I think the overriding concern is not just his flight, but that perhaps he presents a danger to the public. That's one of the elements you have to prove to get pretrial detention in the federal system.
Do you think he knew that this was coming? He landed at that private airport, fresh off a vacation in France, just outside New York City. He was quickly arrested. I mean, one would assume he wouldn't have made that flight or landed in the United States had he known this was coming.
Yeah, I mean, there were harbingers of this coming, but I think people like him get a sense of invincibility because of their wealth and their influence, and it worked one time. Why wouldn't it work again? So, I'm just putting that out there. It is unusual for him to fly right into a situation where he knows he's going to get arrested.
Chris, last question. His defense will be what, and what is his best argument to beat it?
Yeah, with this number of victims, I'm not sure he has a defense. You can't argue consent with underage victims like this. Trafficking is a different type of charge. You have to prove that this was, money changed hands and that sort of thing. But honestly, I don't see where he has any kind of valid defense other than double jeopardy, which we know doesn't apply in this case.
Well, just reading from the piece here in the AP, Epstein's arrest on Saturday came only days after a federal appeals court in New York unsealed 2,000 pages of records, Chris, in a since settled defamation case involving Epstein. So you could have more evidence that it's contained within those pages, too, Chris.
Tons of evidence.
All right. Chris,
fully
thank you.
usable.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll see where it goes. You'll be in court this afternoon. Chris, thank you.